Be like a sponge when it comes to new experiences. If you want to be able to express it well, you must first be able to absorb it well. John Ron. But how do we absorb new experiences? Well, you stop. You turn off all outside sources of information. You turn off your music. You turn off your cell phone. And you wait. And as you look for each element of art at a time. Where are the strong elements of line? How do I represent that in my work? Where are the strong elements of value? And you continue in that way through shape and form.
Today we will take a brief look at drawing the human figure in motion. People move around us all the time. We move through space, they move through the same three-dimensional space. People even create activities that highlight movement, like these dancers, or more familiar, a football game, or perhaps a simple game of catch. In our lesson today, we will talk about how to capture movement on paper. To capture the figure in motion, we must pause the movement. That can most easily be done by taking a photograph. Today, as we draw the human figure, we will look for the strong elements of each: line, shape, value, and form. Each element will help us to not only draw the human figure with more accuracy, but a focus on these elements will give the figures a sense of reality and beauty. Let's talk about line. First, find the major line that expresses the gesture. Determine what line captures the major action of the figure. This is called the line of action. Include the top of the head, the curve of the spine or the torso, and a prominent arm or leg. Think of this line as the structure that the figure hangs on. Now, as we talk about shapes, I want you to consider 17 major shapes. A circle for the skull, another shape for the jaw, and the neck make up 3 shapes that define the head. The torso and the hip area make up the center of the body. An upper arm, lower arm, and hand make up the arm. These shapes are also found on the opposite side of the torso. The hip shape is important for leg position and is often left out of figures made by beginning artists, so make sure that you always look for this shape. The thigh, lower leg, and foot are 3 shapes that make up the leg. These are repeated on the other side. A drawing can be finished quite quickly once the initial lines are well placed and the 17 major shapes are accounted for. Begin to formalize the drawing by connecting single shapes into a more cohesive whole. It's easy to do as you consider large areas of value. Look for the darks as they fall across the entire body. The drawing can be developed a little further by taking a more detailed look at light and shading. Lift the highlights with a kneaded eraser. Add the darks to show form. Add dark lines to give greater importance to the motion of the figure. The body is a curved form, so lines separating light and dark will be softer, graduated areas. A good general rule is to draw light lines where you see less contrast, that is, less difference between light and dark. Draw dark or wide lines where you see more contrast, that is, a very white area against a very dark area. Always clean up the white areas of the page. Smudges can be picked up with the kneaded eraser. Pull or knead the eraser to push the graphite into it, making a clean surface on the outside of the eraser. Shape the eraser into a flat surface to wipe over broad areas. Shape it into a point to reach small areas. To draw the figure with water-soluble pencils, lay down the initial 17 shapes with a regular graphite pencil. Lift the lines with a kneaded eraser as we did in the previous drawing. With the water-soluble pencil, use the shapes as a guide, while focusing on the details of the figure more closely. Add values as you shade the figure. Pay attention to the lightest and darkest values. When we work from line to shading, we are looking at the effect of light on form. It's easiest to see the form when the figure is strongly lit by one light source, such as the sun. With one light source, we see light and shadow. We can view the shadows as shapes that occur over the surface of the body. The shadows get darker as the form turns away from the light. Look for the shape of the form itself. Look for the shape of the shadows on it. If light comes from all directions, the form flattens out. It is only as the form turns away from the light source that we see shadows and cast shadows. We show shadows using a range of values from light to dark. This section is greatly sped up. You've seen the drawing process in the previous section of this lesson. All work at this stage is done with water-soluble pencils so that water can be applied to create a smooth surface. We will focus on the painting process in this drawing. This allows for darker values to be obtained once the water is applied. It also softens the look of the work as the water moves the graphite onto the entire surface of the paper, filling in the white spaces. The disadvantages may become clear as you try them for the first time. Too much water in the brush can easily create wrinkles in the paper. A solution is to use a much heavier paper like watercolor paper. Dip the brush in water, drag it across the edge of the container to take out excess water. Dab it onto the paper towel to take out even more water. Then apply the brush to the picture. Use the tip of the brush along the edges to keep a sharp, focused line. Add a bit of pressure to the brush to fan out the bristles just a bit and over a broader space. This is useful when painting the soft values of the arms and legs. A brush should easily go from a point to a broad stroke with a simple change in pressure and angle. Never leave the brush in the water. This holds true even while you work. Get into the habit of dabbing the brush onto a paper towel and laying it on that paper towel each time you put it down. Because of the gum content in water-soluble pencils, they simply feel different as you draw. You may prefer a regular graphite pencil simply because it feels better, and for delicate work, you have more control. A cast shadow is a shadow that continues to another plane, like the ground or a wall. Here, the figure casts a shadow onto the ground. Cast shadows have edges of their own that have nothing to do with the form that they appear on. They are cast from another source. When finished with the brush, rinse it in the water container and lay it flat to dry. Artists have different styles that definitely show up in their work. However, the basics are the same. Look at the way the legs are treated in each drawing. Light and dark values are used to show the form of those legs. Both figures are grounded, as some reference is made to the ground by drawing the cast shadows. Reference to the direction of light is seen as the two artists leave areas in the shoulders and neck untouched, so that the white of the paper shows through. Lines define the edges of those white shapes. Styles will vary, but the basics of good drawing skills remain constant in good works of art. And those are the skills that you're learning within this book. It's your turn. Gather a photo reference of a figure in motion. Remember to use good lighting. Draw the figure in motion in either regular graphite pencils or water-soluble pencils.